Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone. See my babies up here. Hey, Miguel, sweetheart. Vibe and love. With that smile turned upside down. Doggone that, thank you. Yeah, trying to keep up with the chat. It might be a little bit busy tonight. Then again, I'm hoping not. Well, yes, I do. I'll be lying if I say I don't. Oh, Jane Hawk. Glad to see you here, my dear. Oh, yes, y'all. Thursday night, October the 30th. One more day before Halloween. Yeah, getting myself situated here so I can hopefully the sound is okay, everything is all right tonight. Yeah, like I said, hopefully the sound is everything. My mic is okay and everything's coming through good. People, I just want to say thank you all for coming up here. Yes, you're doing well, dear. Well, yeah, I know you're talking to the chat. Yes, she is doing well, you guys. Thank you so very much for asking and talking. Uh, like I said, Mr. Gerald Bell, thank you for being up here. The most busiest moderator in the place, Vibrant Love with that smile turned upside down. Thank you, darling, for being here this evening. I know you got other places to go and things to do, but I know you got like what, 5 or 6 gadgets like I do, maybe. And Ms. Jane Hall, thank you also for being here, you guys. As my thing says, into feelings for the holidays. Gosh, being this old, I do have feelings. You know, a lot of people say men don't express themselves enough, but there comes a time when a man has to express himself, and other people look at him as being weak or not strong, or, you know, just he's not really, as they say, a man's man. Uh, Myself, I when it gets close to the holidays, and especially around Thanksgiving, Christmas, and even New Year's, which is my roughest time of the year, I think about friends, family members, those who have gone on before us. And with the way the state of the economy and the things are in this country right now, it makes me even sadder to see how people are, some are so complacent, they don't want to care about anything or anyone. I was watching an interesting video a little while ago on Miss Parker, and you guys know her. She does a lot of wonderful things for the community and everything. But I seen her walk from her apartment carrying balloons out to the park to be released for her mother's birthday. Uh, Her mother passed away, and she was telling wonderful stories about her mom and the things that made her remember the good times. But you can also see the sadness because she loved her mother. And there's a lot of people on here that have lost someone during, before, and even after the holidays. So she kind of touched my heart, when she was talking about that. And I want to say that myself being a man, I also go through those feelings and emotions. A lot of men go through it, but they don't have guts enough to come up here and talk about it, how they feel. And I just want people to know that, yes, we're all human. Yes, she had a heavenly birthday for her mom. And I just want to say that to you ladies out there that'll be listening later, or people that, do a replay and stuff, those listening now, men, we go through changes. We go through those emotions of feeling alone, being hurt. You forget men have parents also. Men have parents also. My mom and dad, my dad died when I was 37, and it touched me really, really bad. It kind of changed my way of thought and process of thinking about things. My mom, she lived, I would say, 20 years more later than my dad, but when she passed away, my whole world shattered. I was getting into things that I wouldn't normally have gotten into if my mother had still been here, because I don't want my mother to go through the hardships of her son doing things and causing turmoil in her life. But after mom passed, oh God, dog, yeah, I got into little things. I didn't care about people. I was hurt. You know, I didn't want to be around anyone that cared about me or loved me, because my mother had left me, the one that taught me how to cook, how to sew, how to wash clothes, just being there for a conversation when things go bad with me as a young man. you know, it hurts when your parents leave you guys. A lot of people were brought up in a single household parent, you know, but it still hurts when that support group of yours, even as an adult, they pass away. It hurts. You have friends that you grow up with that are no longer here with you to, have the good times, to share things, the memories that we have. I guess a lot of it goes back to me. I still have a friend where we've been knowing each other for over 70 years. I try calling him every once in a while because he has problems and he has things and he can't answer like he always does. But when we do talk and get in contact with each other, we're on the phone as men for hours and hours, talking about our past lives, talking about the things that we did, how our families are doing now. And we kind of touched on missing our loved ones. So it's not that men don't care, because I heard people say that men don't care. It's not that men don't care. It's that we've been taught to hold in our emotions at times. But I'm so thankful that my mom and dad showed me it was okay to cry. I watched my daddy one time cry, and it made me stronger because I knew he had feelings. You see what I'm saying? Uh, he hardly ever showed emotion, but when he did, it was something beautiful. It was something beautiful. Yes, Jane, it is hard. I know, and I feel for you. And even this year, I have lost people that I love, I care about. Uh, my nephew, for instance, young guy in the prime of his life. He was 32. And when I get on here and I listen to guys on here on YouTube at that age, around his age, I say, God, why did you have to take somebody so resourceful that was trying to build a family? Hadn't even had a chance to get married and have children. And you got guys on here on these platforms that sit around and they cuss women and they talk about women all day long. And then when you try to correct them on it, you get cussed out too. Even older guys on here on platforms that sit around and talk under women's clothes. It's not healthy. And you wonder why I'm in a predominantly area where women are there. Women feel the way that they do about men. You know, I don't I don't profess to being the best of the best, but I do know that men sometimes need to keep their mouths out of women's business when women are on here talking and trying to have a conversation. I've seen women go at it big, rough, and hard, but I never seen their husbands or boyfriends jump up too much. You let things go. You let the women fight their fights. In other words, you know. Now, if you care for that woman and your woman is up there, you talk to her. You say, "Hey, baby, look, maybe I think you don't need to do this right now. Your emotions are getting too high," because that touches your ability to be able to talk to her and relate to her, because somebody else has gotten in under her skin. And let's face it, women are emotional. They're more emotional than men. But at times we have to sit back, take a seat, and reflect. And tonight, what I'm reflecting on is people that have lost people and they're still hurt from it. Like I said, at 37, my dad died. I'm 75. It still hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much. Okay, I can think about the things that we did growing up. Even after I got married, he was there. My mom, the things that we did as a family, as a unit. Granted, a lot of people don't have that. I was very fortunate to live in a time and had great parents that taught me the value of things and certain things in life. Now, were they all good? No. And did I tell them everything that went on? No. Because I was also out there listening to other people, youngsters as we're kids. Don't tell mama and daddy, even my own siblings. Don't tell mama and daddy this. Don't. We kind of, when you're young, you form a bond with your siblings. Uh, I was the oldest. Well, I was the eldest because of my mom and daddy situation. But I had an older brother, which my mom had before I was born. And when my dad met her and married her, and when I was born, he was like 15 years older than I was. And during those times of me growing up, he was always around. He was married. We lived in Chicago, and then we moved to the country, as I'd say. And he would talk to me as a young boy growing up. Mind you, my oldest brother wasn't the best brother in the world when it came to things, but he always supported his family. There were times that, yeah, him and his wife got into it, but daddy was always there because we lived in a what they call a 3-story flat building. All the families were there in one unit. We lived on the second floor. My aunt and her uncle, her husband lived on the third floor, and the first floor, my brother was there. And then they had what they call a front and back unit. So, yeah, we didn't always get along. Let's face it, we always didn't get along. But when push came to shove, we were there for one another. We cared for one another. We loved hard, we fought hard, played hard, as they say. But when it comes to this thing of death and someone passing away, it broke all of us down. My mother's uncle, he was a character. He loved to gamble. I think that's where I got some of that trait from him from. He loved to gamble, but he had a girlfriend that he took care of. She didn't want for anything. And when he passed away, it really hurt me because at being a child, I can remember being a child at Christmas time. My uncle, we called him Uncle Bubby, would always bring us something there at the house. I remember that's when I got my first electric train, a Lionel, the kind that you put the little liquid in the smokestack and it would run around the track and smoke would come out of it. Those things that made me happy. They bought toys for us. They had this old hen that you shoot a little dart at it. You had these little white tennis balls in the back of it. A little bit, they were plastic. They weren't tennis balls. Plastic eggs, really. You hit the bullseye on the hen, and the hen would lay the egg out, and we would think that was so funny. But I also think that as I've gotten older and reflect on everything back that makes me happy, there are also things that make me sad too. First of all, I want to send my prayers out to the folks in Jamaica where that catastrophic storm hit them, because I do have relatives in Jamaica. Mind you, I may never meet them or never see them. I'm planning on going there, but with my problems that I have with my blood clotting and all that stuff, it might be impossible. But my prayers go out to them for their families and everybody. Yeah, she's doing better. I think about the times that when death hits us, it hurts. It hurts to the core. But we need to move on. We need to say to ourselves, it's all part of God's plan. It's a life learning lesson that we have. As sure as we're born, we're going to pass away. And I resigned myself to that fact now that I'm old as I am. Yes, I have. Believe it or not, people. I resign my fact to there might be a day when I may not wake up, or I might be in an accident, or even the way the world is going now, I'm at a grocery store and some clown comes in and decides to do some horrific thing. You look at people in church that have went to church and they haven't come home. You look at kids, even kids going to school and thought their day was going to be bright, and they didn't come back. And you wonder, how does that affect the parents the people, the first responders that get to a scene like that, it touches us all. It touches us. And even myself, when I see something like that, I do feel, I do care. And I wonder why. I stop wondering why and just have to realize that it's not written how we're going to leave here or the way that we're going to leave here. All I know that I'm going to leave here one of these days, and everybody else is. So when we hear stories of parents and grandparents and loved ones that have left us through sometimes no action of their own, but maybe by illness or sickness, we should always remember they're in a better place. Because I look at myself now and I think that, you know, how do I really feel about the way I'm being treated in this world as a human being? Or what do I think about as a man, how I should still react even at my old age? Do I want to get out there and bebop? No. Do I want to be able to get out there and have a good time with the people that are still around me and enjoy life? Definitely, yes. But I know it's not going to continue. So why not make the best of it before it ends? And that's why I say, people, love one another as Jesus loves us, and enjoy life. Have fun, because we never know the day, the time, or the hour. That's what I'm speaking upon today. Uh, Things have not gotten worse for me, but things have not gotten better. Like I said, I can't get out and run that quarter of a mile race that I used to. I can't get out there and believe it or not, as a young kid, yeah, as a boy, I jumped double dutch. Does that make me gay? No, it doesn't. I was having fun because my sisters, I had three sisters, and they played double dutch. And as their brother, hey, I had fun with them. So as we grow up as kids, from kids to adulthood, there's certain things that men might admit they did or didn't do, but I'll admit it. With my sisters, I learned to jump double dutch. My aunties and them taught me how to jump rope, as they call it. Uh, those were the fun times for me. I didn't think about uh, being called a girl, or oh, you're that S word sissy and all that. No, that was having fun with the family. Boys having fun with their sisters. Boys playing with their older cousins and female siblings. Did I play with dolls? Nope, didn't do that. But I did, when hopscotch. Hey, yeah, I jumped. I did hopscotch. A lot of people don't know what hopscotch is. Yeah, it is always a blessing to be able to remember as a man the things that I've done with my younger sisters, and like I said, cousins and aunts, even as a man, young man growing up, young boy, that didn't define me as being this or that, because I had my dad too. And my dad was a man. I had my mom. She was a mother, and she knew the value of they knew the value of their children having fun and playing and being themselves. A lot of parents today, they don't have the time to be able to take their child here and there and to the zoo. I realize now that there are a lot of children that have never been to the zoo, not through any fault of their own. It's just that some people didn't care to do it for them. Where I was more fortunate, I was able to go to the places like that, the science museums, the planetariums, to get out. My dad took us to Milwaukee, went to a poker party where people danced the polka. I'd never seen polka before in my life, but I watch people dance. I mean, even my dad, he danced the polka, and I couldn't figure out how the hell a black Jamaican man knew something about the polka, because he was willing as a younger man to learn all these things. And he tried to instill in us children that it's okay to mix. There's nothing wrong with mixing. I just have a little hope right now that things will get better for people that aren't going to be able to fix their table like they used to for Thanksgiving, to have those big meals. With the crisis of the government shutdown, people aren't going to be able to get food stamps. Those that relied on that, and let's face it, there are a lot of people that rely on food stamps, and there's no shame in that. But when it comes to people making fun of somebody being on food stamps and assistance, I bet you we can all reach back in our families and we have some member of our family that is on the food stamp program. Hell, even old as I am, I'm on the food stamp program because I'm an old guy living by myself. I don't make enough money because I don't work like I used to. And as they say, I am in the low majority of being able to afford certain things. But I try not to let that worry me because I'm happy about who I am, where I came from, and what I've been and what I do. I have a core of people that love me and care about me. I have a core of people that will call me and ask, "Hey, old man, how are you doing today?" I have a neighbor next door. He'll come over and look, "Hey, Pops, you need a haircut. Come on." He's a barber. He'll give me a haircut. Does he charge me for it? No, because he wants me to look good and to keep my hair cut. Oh man, you don't have to sit around looking like, as some one content creator used to call me back in the day, George Jefferson. I take that lightly because there are some people that will never be able to be a George Jefferson, or they will never be able to be a Harry Belafonte or Michael Jordan. You see what I'm saying? Younger people. So when you look at the realness of it, myself, I don't try to judge people anymore, and I definitely don't try to get into arguments with people about things that I have no control over. They really have no control over. It's left up to the man upstairs. So, but I do care when people suffer. I do care when people hurt. And I do care about the loved ones that I love so much when things happen to them and it's a struggle to get back. Um, I just had to come up here and let you guys know that I'm still here. I'm still going to be happy. And I love life. I do. I really, truly, truly love life. What I'm getting sick and tired of now is being sick and tired. And what I mean by that, I'm tired of waking up in the morning and heck, I got Arthur. Me and Arthur don't get along, so I have to go get old Bengay out. You know, yeah, I might smell like Salon liniment, but I know how to before I go out to wash that off and throw on some uh, brute Old Spice. Yeah, Old Spice. Yeah, it's around. It's been around for years. It smells good. I also have some other aftershave and colognes that I use. Axe and all that good stuff for the young ladies. They like the smell of it, but I'm not interested in that part in life. I'm interested when I get out. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy myself. I like to see people smile. You know, so I'm at this point stage of life to where calling out stuff that really doesn't concern me It's not my forte. But when I see people that hurt and yet they're giving good advice and they're talking about how fun it was when their parents or loved ones was living, it touches me. And I have to say things about it. Yeah, Arthur is very annoying, and you think there's some men that are named Arthur. I don't know. Arthur is very annoying, dear. Oh, excuse me. Uh, like I said before, I just had to come up and kind of ventilate and let people know, especially women, that men do hurt, honey. We hurt, and at times we're not strong enough to talk about it. You know, in our hearts, we might have something to say, but we won't say it. And I, I'm just I'm just ready to let people know that as a man, I don't consider myself above any man, except when it comes to me being able to tell my history, being able to recount history, and to look at things from a perspective of, well, it used to be this way, but now it's that way. Has change been good for the better? Some people say yes, some people say no. It depends on what we're talking about. But I want to say that for me, things are better because now I can sit back on my porch and look at the birds flying and look at the squirrels running across the yard and appreciate that. And I can still also go out to the casino and be around people and appreciate that. Go to a football game and watch this young man that have seen growing up to a young, almost a teenager, going into his teen years now. I can appreciate that because there are a lot of people here today, a lot of people that will not be able to do that tomorrow, or they haven't been able to do it now in the past. Uh, Men and their emotions, it's crazy. We try to love. We can love hard too, just as hard as a woman. We can get crazy sometimes over that woman, but it doesn't matter because we're all human. I just want to say once again, thank you guys for coming up, being able to watch and listen to me vent a little of my thoughts about life in general. Like I said, I've seen history. I've seen black men in the struggle. I've seen black women in the struggle. I've seen families in the struggle. But all in all, I just want to tell people keep your head up. Life is precious, life is sweet. I'm not going to be on here too long because I might get in my heart to do music later on. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I guarantee you, no matter what, people, I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to enjoy life. So, with that being said, I'm going to get off of here and I will see you guys on the YouTube streets. I'll be listening. I'll be talking about the trips and the Halloween party, the costume. Lady Nicker's got one coming up tomorrow, you guys. I know you guys are going to watch that. Other people have things going on. Oh, you're always welcome. You're always welcome, Gene Hope. You're so welcome, dear. Uh, there are going to be good things on YouTube to happen tomorrow. There's going to be some bad things on YouTube. There's always going to be disagreements. But like I said, I love you as Jesus loves us. And you guys, no matter where you go, I'm going to tell you, think for yourself. Think for yourself. Okay? Be a leader, not a follower. Use your own heart process and thoughts to say, well, I know this is wrong. I'm not going to participate in it. But if you do participate in it, try to keep a level head. Try to talk some sense into people. As a world of people, different people, we have things. And I'm going to give a shout out to Miss Olivia. I heard you this morning, dear. I don't agree with a lot of things you say, but I do agree with one thing. Family is most important for Black people. The things that we teach our children about the way things were back in the days are very important. The history lesson about how slaves took the scraps that they were given and learned to survive off of them. A lot of kids don't even know how to plant a seed to grow a garden. But I see that you're from the era that you were taught things. To Ronnie Q, thank you for enlightening me and keeping me enlightened on the government side of things. I watch that very carefully. I know there's a lot of people, some places I drop down and let them know I'm listening to them. And I do share people out on my platform, you guys. So that's another thing. Sharing is caring to me. And if I share you out, I care about you. I care about the things that you are saying at that moment. The things that you are saying that makes it relevant for us as Black people to listen to and to take in. And I also want to thank Charlie, sending love. Yes, she's a white woman, young white girl. I listen to her. I've met many friends off of her platform. I made friends with people I don't even know. I'm not going to say friends, acquaintances. Let's put it that way. We're trying to be politically correct. We're all acquaintances to each other. I've never met you in the flesh. And if I did, I would probably do as our parents did when they met someone, shake their hand, give them a hug, and say, hello, glad to meet you, even though they had indifferences. Charlie, sending love. Once again, I want to thank you. Barry Carey, my Jamaican sister. A lot of people don't know that Barry Carey is a Jamaican lady. She has Jamaican background. Thank you. And for those countless of people that have given me a reason to do my music and to stay on here and be part of a entertainment system to where people can go and listen to you and to me. Thank you. Thank you so very much. With that being said, Uncle Claude, I can't forget Uncle Claude. Hey, Uncle Claude, maybe one day we will get our schedules together because I know it's hard for you right now. And I know you've been sick, Uncle Claude, so you better get your butt together, buddy. You're too young to be sick now. Leave it to the older man. No, you're an old man, but, older guy, I feel better than you. Just teasing Uncle Claude, y'all. Oh, and to Misunderstood, thank you for our political differences, darling. But as I go along, as I say, we shall see when it starts affecting those that really didn't think it would affect them. We shall see. We shall be all of one accord. To Lady Nika, thank you. Pizarro, thank you. Brianna, thank you. Miss Rose Bennett, thank you. I watch all these people at times, you guys. The ones that are even Crazy Lemon, I listen to him too. Lolo, BBW, Sedalia. I listen to a lot of, and then as you notice, most of them are women. So I listen. I just wish men would understand that a lot of times women vent more than we do because we're so caught up in ourselves. We can't show, we're not supposed to show our emotions because we're weak. But that doesn't mean you can't get up there and tell the truth either, about the way you feel. I don't know. It's getting to a point with me to where if you want to call me old, if you want to call me sickly, if you want to call me crazy, half nuts, can't. I don't have Alzheimer's, folks. So thank God for that. I don't remember a lot, but there's a lot I haven't forgotten either. So with that being said, you guys take care of yourselves. I'm going to get off of here. Love you as Jesus loves us. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And let me leave with a little song, a little music. That's my forte, music. I love my music, folks.